Hey everyone, welcome to week two. I'm working hard to post this video much sooner than I did last week, so hopefully you guys can have a chance to watch. I don't have a ton for updates, just wanted to tell you thank you for bearing with me on the grade issue. The grades should be updated now, so you guys can see your updated grades there, and then how to make sure that you earn full credit for the next 2 weeks of discussions. Again, the reason I have you post 3 replies to students is to create that discussion as if we were in the classroom, because I know we don't have that in this online space. So it's just to get us reading and thinking about other points of view. So that's important when we work through this class. Other things that I wanted to mention, I am working on grading the essays right now. So far, you guys are doing a great job. I would just have you double check APA and make sure you're following that if you are referencing things outside materials, things like that. But in terms of part two in your, or no, we're on part three, I think. Part two of the class, at least in your book in Chandler, part two. You guys have a lot of reading, about 100 pages in this next section. So that is what's going to take up most of your time this week. I'm already seeing the discussions come through on your stakeholders, prioritizing them in terms of impact and importance. So I appreciate you guys being able to put some extra effort into that. Again, I think that will really help you when you get to your final paper. But the reason I had your essay focus on the environment for last week is so that we can think of the environment as this bubble in which social and economic function. And so I want us thinking about the environment first, because obviously if we do not correct or help the environment, we cannot tackle economic and social issues as well. So now we can kind of move into those social and those economic issues that companies are going through when considering CSR. And that's when we start to talk about ethics and the financial crisis, as well as moving into, stocks and market share. And again, those type of shareholders and whether or not the stockholders can be embedded within those shareholders as well, because a lot of times they're separated, when I think if we treated them similarly without allowing stockholders to overbear on top of shareholders, then we can talk about creating equity across a lot of different areas and really making sure that individuals and groups are treated with the same respect that people that own pieces of the company are treated with as well. So that's why this section is pretty heavy duty, but overall it at least paints a really good picture in terms of how we think about businesses in as leaders and as people going out into the working community, and how do we manage the priorities of a lot of different groups asking us all for the same thing. So that's what's really important. You're going to want to think about areas where you have these groups calling for this change, you have these groups over here wanting this change. How do we make sure we meet those requirements, that we tell people that we are considering their opinions and their values, with also making sure we meet those economic considerations. So this whole section on the stakeholder perspective, I think, is really important, because then it also gives us the ability to think about how we're going to manage the rights and responsibilities of the company, and how businesses manage that change and handle, again, all the varying people asking them for different things. Because ultimately, the business needs to be successful. in order for any of this to work. So it's important that we handle the requests, that we consider what's important, but that we also make sure that our employees are taken care of, that they're provided, you know, all the things that they need for their working conditions as well. So that was all I had. I was slightly distracted by my cat. That's the first time she's decided to join me on a video, so you guys are very lucky. But anyways, again, if you guys have any questions, concerns, worries, fears, hopefully my climate change presentation and the work you guys did on your essays aren't keeping you up at night. But I hope that this class so far, at least in its limited form online, is helping you guys learn new things. So again, please reach out if you have any questions, and I'll be looking forward to your discussions and your essays for the week. Thanks. Bye.